We learned how if-else statements help us in specifying conditions and taking actions accordingly. Switch statement is a similar control structure. However, in switch case control mechanism, we use the value of a variable or an expression to change the control flow of program execution via a multi-way branch. So using if or switch case depends on the programmer and the use case. Let's see the syntax of switch case now. So the switch statement tests the value of an expression and compares it with multiple cases. Once the case match is found, a block of statements associated with that particular case is executed. Each case in a block of a switch has a different name or a number or a value, which is referred to as an identifier. The value that's provided in the expression is compared with all the cases inside the switch block until the match is found. In case no match is found, the default statement is executed and the control goes out of the switch block. Let's see an example. So let's initialize an integer variable and assign it with the value 100. We're then going to write a switch case statement, and in this case, the expression is simply the variable I. This means our entire switch case now depends on the value of the variable I. So if the value of the variable I is 10, we want to print I is 10. If it's either 100 or 200, we want to print I is either 100 or 200. And then we have a default block, which will print I is neither 0, 100 or 200. Let's run the program and we get the output I is either 100 or 200. So we know that the value of the variable I was 100. And so in this case, the case block associated with the value 100 was executed. And hence we got our output that I is either 100 or 200. Let's change the value of I now. Let's change it to 800. So when the value of I is 800, neither the case block that's associated with the value 10 is executed, neither the case 100, 200 is executed, but instead we fall to the default block. And the default block gets executed and we get our output as I is neither 0, 100 or 200. We also have a very special keyword for switch case statements, and that is called the fall through keyword. So the fall through keyword is used in switch case to force the execution flow to fall through the successive case block. Let's see an example. So we're going to again initialize an integer variable with the value 10. Again, a switch case expression depends on the value of the variable I. And we're going to write multiple cases now. So first we write for case -5, case 10, case 20, and the default case. Let's see what happens. So we know that the value of the variable I is 10. So case -5 is of course not going to execute. Well, case 10 does execute and we get 10 in the output. But we also find that this case also has the fall through keyword written. So it forces us to fall through the next case block, which is the case 20. In this case block, it says fmt.println 20, and hence we get 20 in the output as well. But hey, this case block also consists of the keyword fall through, and hence we are forced to again fall through the next case block, which is the default block, and which simply prints default in the output. So this is how fall through keyword works. It keeps on falling through the successive case block until we find the default keyword and the entire switch case ends, or until it finds a case which does not consist of the fall through keyword. So instead of using a single value, we can even use conditional statements for switch. In this case, we do not need to mention an expression after switch. We can simply write our conditions inside the case blocks itself. Let's see an example to understand. So we're going to declare two variables called A and B, and then we're going to write a switch statement. So note how we haven't mentioned any expression after the switch keyword. Our first case consists of the condition A plus B equals to 30. Our next case block has the condition A plus B is less than equal to 30. And then we have a default block. So in this case, the value of A and B is 10 and 20. The addition is 30. So according to our interpretation, both the cases evaluate to true. However, when we run the program, we just get equal to 30. And this is because Go uses an implicit break statement for each case. And this is very different from languages like C or Java, where we have to explicitly write the break keyword. So over here, a case block with the condition A plus B equals to 30 was executed because it was the first one in the order. Well, that's all for now. Let's get some hands-on practice.